area of a trapezoid. So the area of a trapezoid, first let's go over what a trapezoid looks like. Maybe you have something like this, or you can have something like this, but what's important is you have parallel lines. So this is a parallel line, right? Or parallel set of lines, because these just run parallel. That means they're never going to intersect. They just continue to go straight on forever, side by side at the same distance forever. Now this would be also parallel lines. And then what happens is they get connected somehow through these, right? These are the lines that connect them to make up the trapezoid. So if we were to label this, we can have A here, maybe we have A here. We can have B here, B here to represent the parallel lines. Then let's go over our formula. So area is equal to A plus B, and then we're going to divide that by 2. So we're adding up the two parallel lines together, dividing by 2, and then we're just going to multiply it by the height. And so the height is this line here that connects between the two parallel lines. So this is the height, and that's the height. So we add up the two sides of parallel lines, divide that by 2, and then multiply that by the height. The height is just the distance between from one parallel line to the next one. So let's go over some examples. Example 1, find the area of the support gusset. So we have area, which is equal to A plus B divided by 2 times by the height. Now, let's go over. If we were to say A, we can put A as this number here. So if we were to rewrite it, we can go and write the 10 in the A spot. We're just going to replace the A with 10. And then we're going to add the other side, which is B. And we're going to say it's that line because it's the only other line of the other parallel lines that we have not accounted for. So 16. Then we're going to go ahead and divide by 2. And then we're going to go ahead and multiply by the height. Now, we don't care about these numbers because that doesn't give us height. We want to find the distance between the two parallel lines, which will be this 9. So now we can go ahead and solve because we have it all set up. So area is going to be equal to 10 plus 16. So let's go ahead and add those together. So it's 26. Then divide by 2 times 9. So we need to do the addition part because this is important first. Then now we have 26. And we're going to go ahead and divide that by 2. This will be our first step. Make it easier. So 26 divided by 2. If you take 26, just divide it by 2 if you want to even it out, right? It would be 13. And then we go ahead and multiply that by 9. Now we can go ahead and grab our calculators. 13 times 9, and we get 117. Now, let's look at our units. It's inches. So we have inches squared because this is area, so it's going to be in square units. And inches is our unit. Now let's look at another example. Example 2, find the area of the support gusset. So, once again, we need to find our parallel lines, right? Because that's going to be our A and B. So we have 7, and we have this 9. Those are the parallel lines. We need to add those together to find the area. So area is equal to, right, A plus B divided by 2 times the height. Now, let's go ahead and start filling this in with numbers. Well, A is going to, we'll just say it's the 7. We can also make it A equal to 9. It doesn't actually matter at all. But we're just going to put 7, because I've color-coded it this way. 7 plus 9 divided by 2 times, now the height. Well, the height is actually going to be this number, right? It is actually what connects the two parallel lines is a straight line, and that's just 4 inches. So that's our height. So 4. So if we were to go and solve, we would go 7 plus 9. So that would be 16. Then we're going to go ahead and divide this by 2 and then multiply it by 4. Well, 16 divided by 2 is equal to 8. And then we're going to multiply it by 4 to get our final answer, which is going to be 32. This is also in inches. So this is inches squared. Now notice you might actually see the formula looking like this. You might see it as 1/2 A plus B in brackets times the height. Now this also tells you to do the exact same thing as we've done. So how we would do that is showing 1/2 A plus B, so let's go 7 plus 9, put that in parentheses, times 4. So if you remember, when dealing with multiple steps that we need to do, we look at what's in parentheses first, which would be here. So we would tackle that first, which would be 7 plus 9. So we just rewrite everything. So 7 plus 9 is 16 times 4. Then what's next, if we remember, maybe also you remembered it as PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, but you deal with parentheses, then exponents, which we don't have exponents in here. Then you multiply or divide in our next steps. So that would be any of these steps. So we can go 1/2 times 16, or 16 divided by 2, which is the exact same thing as it means. That would be, right, just 8. And then you can just multiply this next one to be times 8 times 4, which would be 32. So you get the same answer, but you could see the formula like this, or you could see it like this, and then it means the exact same thing. Just like knowing that just because it looks different does not mean it's wrong. So you can see it in different ways.